U.S. officials say Ukraine was behind car bomb that killed daughter of Russian nationalist, NYT.
Here's a summary of the article.
U.S. intelligence officials allege Ukraine was responsible for a car bomb that killed the daughter of a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, The New York Times reported on Wednesday. Daria Dugina, the daughter of Russian nationalist Alexander Dugin, was killed in August when an explosive device planted under her Toyota Land Cruiser went off. American officials told The New York Times that U.S. intelligence believes parts of the Ukrainian government authorized the attack, though they did not specify whether Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was aware of or had signed off on the attack. The U.S. was not aware of the attack ahead of time and admonished Ukrainian officials over the killing, the American official said. Democrats excoriate Saudis over OPEC+ decision. Russian reporter who protested Ukraine war says she's escaped house arrest. Dugina's father, a political thinker known to some as Putin's brain, is suspected by some American officials to have been the intended target of the attack, The New York Times noted. A television commentator, journalist and chief editor of nationalist outlet United World International, Dugina was sanctioned by the U.S. in March.
This post received a score of 9,300, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Now I don't know Russian or hang out in Russian social media, but according to the media I followed at the time this was reported, they failed to mention that she was not really innocent in all of this. Apparently she was a popular influencer who was spouting Putin's and her father's propaganda about the special military operation, etc. What kind of paper is The Hill anyway?
Wasn't there a last-minute change in cars or something like that and that's why she died instead of the father? I didn't get the sense she was the target.
It was her car. Normally her father would go back home with her car.
Ukraine closer to Putin than Putin would like to think. They almost killed one of the top 8 of his.
We are closer than you think.
I might be too paranoid, but I'd never take a picture with the clock in plain sight, certain distinctive features of weather and especially on a presumably CCTV surveilled place.
FSB is likely too busy trying to find vintage copies of The Sims to track something like this.
We are not. We took a page out of the SEC handbook and mostly just watch Pornhub all day. As a group.
I'm voting Lemon Party.
What is the Lemon Party?
It's when you throw a yellow party, everyone shows up in yellow and puts their keys in a bowl. Periodically throughout the night 2 sets of keys will be selected from the bowl. The owners of those keys have to go into a room together and squeeze each other. Afterwards they shower together to clean off the lemon juice.
But it's just your grandfather and his boys that meet at McDonald's every morning for coffee playing the game.
They threw that other guy off the boat too and the rest out of windows. I think they pushed someone down some steps as well.
What about the guy running against Putin who was shot dead on the bridge just as a truck was driving by?
Do not interfere when the enemy is making mistakes.
Not making mistakes, Putin is killing these people so he can gather their wealth. Think De Niro after the big robbery in Goodfellas.
It killed a Russian nationalist, whose father was one too. A father who said it is an honor to die for Russia.
It is always good to fight an enemy who wants to die for their country, because then you have the same goals.
That's what the business world calls synergy.
And business is boomin'.
Greater than the lack of transparency about Ukraine's military and covert plans has reportedly led to frustration among U.S. officials, according to the New York Times. I mean, the last commander-in-chief literally held them hostage economically to try and get him to scam an election, and was giving his boyfriend in the Kremlin U.S. classified secrets on the regular. I can't blame Ukraine for keeping the U.S. at arm's length when it comes to their most important plans. Don't need another Rand Paul, sudden mysterious trip to Moscow without explanation, happening if he hears what Kyiv is planning next.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.